I do some podcasts. I write stories for podcasts, and usually I write them out and then I read them through Audacity.
That's neat. Are they fiction stories? What kind of stories?
No, they're true stories, usually about aviation. I'm involved in a number of different podcasts, aviation podcasts.
Oh, that's awesome.
The Airline Pilot Guy and the Airplane Geeks, and I write stories based on my experiences and try to bring some emotion and some feelings into them.
You know what's cool is that is a long tradition in radio broadcasting. I think of Gene Shepard.
That's who I grew up on, and I
try to
model myself after him.
Me
he
too.
was the absolute best.
All he would do is tell stories, and actually the younger generation is probably familiar with A Christmas Story, which is, you shoot your eye out with a Red Ryder rifle and all that. That was a Gene Shepard story. He narrates it, in fact.
He's absolutely fabulous.
Oh, I miss him.
I got to meet him. I got to have lunch with him one time.
Oh,
He's an
jealous.
amazing guy. But anyway, one time only, I did a story live, and I got to tell you, it came out great. I was really happy with it. Except I have no idea what I said. And I have the MP3 of it. It's 13 megabytes.
Gene Shepard always did his live off the cuff, and that remarkable.
I was trying to do what he did, and I was very pleased with what I said. But I have the MP3. I would love to have the text file, and I can't find a program, or at least a cheap program for my Windows computer that will transcribe it for me from the MP3. I can find some online programs, but nothing that will handle a file that big.
See, one of the things, and I'm going to have to see if Amazon still does this with their Mechanical Turk, was they used to have this transcription service by humans, which are infinitely better at this than machines. And all you have to do is watch, television with the closed captioning turned on, and you can really tell when a human's writing it and when a machine is writing it. It's kind of humorous when a machine's doing it. Same thing with the closed captions on YouTube. So there is lots of machine transcriptions. I'm looking at actually one, I don't know if it's still out there, called Transcribe. That's a Chrome plugin, an app for Chrome. But I see quite a few. But what I'm interested in is this Mechanical Turk, and see if they still do this. So the way Amazon did it, which was quite clever, it was first of all very inexpensive. They would take each sentence of your MP3 and farm it out to 3 or more people for each sentence, and they would get back 3 transcriptions. They would compare them and look for consensus. And if they didn't get consensus, they'd farm it out to some more. Once they reach consensus, 2 or 3 people all agreeing that's what he said, they'd add it. And they were able to do this because they could only charge, fractions of a penny per transcription, because it's just a short little thing. They were able to do this quite inexpensively. So I would look for Amazon Mechanical Turk transcription to see if they still do that.
Turk as in T-U-R-K?
Yeah, the name is interesting. It comes from... in many hundreds of years ago, in the 19th or 18th century, a scammer put together a automaton chess-playing machine. There was a Turk. It had a turban and smoked a hookah and played, and it beat all the best masters of Europe. It was called the Mechanical Turk. In fact, it turned out there was a little person inside who was a chess master who was playing quite well. So it was a famous scam of the 18th century. And I guess Amazon liked the story. I'll tell you what, let's keep looking. There's companies like Speechmatics. I'm actually looking at a Quora. This would be very good. I'll put this in the show notes. A Quora Q&A. I like Quora for this kind of thing. What is the best tool to automatically transcribe audio files? And it has quite a few recommendations.
I've done some searching, and I found a few, and frankly, I found most of them don't even work. When I install them on the computer and try to run them exactly as said and follow the instructions, and couldn't find anything that really worked. And so I'm trying to find a way to...
My friend Steve Gibson pays a human, a court reporter, to transcribe his Security Now podcast. That works well, of course, but it's expensive because it's a human.
That's a good idea. I might have a connection that way.
Yeah, actually, so she was a court reporter, probably still is, and that means she can transcribe quite quickly. Elaine Ferris, Ferris is her name, and she does our Security Now show. Leo Laporte, the tech guy.